Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue and I am back for another All-American review, y'all. Oh Lord. They took me here and they took me there this episode, y'all. I don't know why this felt like a finale of some sorts, even though I don't think it was, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. I don't think it is though, but it did feel rather final. But it's not, because there's an episode next week. I forgot. I remember the preview now. It's been a long night. Let's go ahead and get into it. So Spencer's in the hospital. Okay, Spencer's being rushed into the emergency room after being shot. Everybody in the hospital assumes he's a gang member who's been shot at, even though he's coming in with a girl in a ball gown. Okay, he had a suit on. She's in a ball gown. Obviously, they weren't just hoods, with a drug deal gone wrong. I was just kind of like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? I also feel like a hospital is no place for your biases. So please keep your racism, your prejudices, and your ignorant thoughts about people you don't even know away from the hospitals. We'd really appreciate that, nurses and doctors who are responsible for saving people's lives, but decide who deserves the best care based off of what you're assuming the situation is. How dare you? How dare you? I know it's a show, but how dare you? How dare you? They treating him so bad. And if it wasn't for this one nurse who was fighting to make sure that Spencer was taken well care of, I'm telling you, he probably would have died, in the hospital just from their lack of care. Olivia is being checked on because when Spencer jumped on her, she sprained her wrist, okay? But the police are questioning her and making it seem like she's a liar, and they were trying to buy drugs because she was offered Oxycontin. She said no thank you to the drugs. They still offered them to her, and she said, no, I'm a recovering addict. I can't take that. And the police officer says, so was this some type of drug deal gone wrong? So the person that's saying I don't need the drugs was buying drugs. Is that correct? Oh, that's great police work. That's what we need out there. People who are that smart. The nurse helps Olivia to get in to see Spencer, and he tells her to get Coop because he doesn't want any bloodshed or anybody retaliating on his behalf, because the OG, Lamar Tate, is definitely going to retaliate because Spencer and his family are considered off limits because the OG considers them his family. So they're not supposed to be touched. So the fact that Tyrone had somebody roll up on Spencer, now they're going to go after Tyrone's head. Coop gets to the hospital and Spence tells her that this isn't her fault and to tell the OG, Flip, I finally got his name, y'all. Lamar Tate's name on here is Flip, okay. But anyway, she's supposed to go and tell the OG not to kill Tyrone, not to have no blood spilling in the street, no gang war between the Bloods because of Spencer. He doesn't want that. When Coop puts her hand on his hand, he says, I can't feel your hand. And then he starts to scream as if he was having some type of stroke or something. And then the doctors come in and they push Coop out the room and we don't know what's going on with Spencer, okay? Then we see Billy get there with some clothes for Olivia and he's like, are you okay? Everybody's just so scared and worried and rushed and, everything is just so chaotic. Jordan gets home to Laura, who's supposed to be staying inside because nobody knows what's going on. But Laura said, no, I need to go and make sure that they're going after the right guy. Laura knows this is Tyrone who did this, okay, because she's the one that helped Coop snitch on Tyrone in the first place. So she knows, she wants to make sure that the police know who they need to be looking for. Because I swear to God, if they don't have somebody telling them who they should be looking for, they'll be looking at the person that got shot. Did you shoot yourself? You look like you shot yourself. Grace and Darnell get to the hospital and they find out that there's a bullet still lodged in Spencer's shoulder and there's some shrapnel in there as well. And the neurosurgeon, who's a pretty little black lady, comes in and she says, you're a pretty big deal in my house. My daughter goes to Beverly and she talks about how you won the championship and you're a straight A student and just singing his praises, while the other nurse and doctor who were willing to allow him to get lackluster care because they thought he was a gangbanger was standing right behind them. So, they looking at each other like, oh, and the black nurse who was sticking up for him the whole time, she like, But the neurosurgeon tells him that they have to either remove the shrapnel in the bullet or leave it in there. If they leave it in there, he can't play football ever again. If they have the surgery, he could possibly be paralyzed on one side, or they can get it out and everything will go well. There's also, the fear of death. But yeah, It's scary, and it's a scary surgery, and it can go either way. So it's up to Spencer what he decides to do. Now, we all know that Spencer quit playing football, so this really shouldn't be that big of a deal, but we all thought that Spencer was going to go back to football eventually. So this just doesn't feel right. So Spencer wakes up, and Layla's in his room, and she says, oh, let me go get your mom. And he's like, let my mom rest. In all honesty, I kind of need a break. And he talks to her about the surgery and how he can, be paralyzed or never play football again. He tells her he quit, but he didn't think that it would be forever. And she says she knows that he quit because of what was going on with his dad passing, but she never thought that he'd be gone forever. She always thought he'd make his way back to football eventually. And so did he. So now it's the fear that I'll never be able to play ball again. That is not something that Spencer was counting on, and I don't think that that's something that he wants. Coop goes to see the OG while he's rallying his troops to get ready and go after Tyrone. The OG tells Coop that he's going after Tyrone because Tyrone is a mad dog that needs to be put down, and he was making a statement when he shot Spencer. So you know what? He got to get dealt with. Coop says, let me do it. That way there don't be no bloodshed. It's a snitch, and the gangster that the snitch was snitching on. It's personal. Everybody will kind of overlook it if it's personal. The OG says, okay, I'm going to give you a date. And if it ain't done, it's mine. Okay, it's on me, Coop. Do you understand me? Coop said, yeah, man, I got you. I said, Coop, you couldn't kill nobody the last time. I don't think you can kill somebody this time, Coop. I'm going to tell you the truth, sis. Jordan is at home, and Simone, y'all remember that's the girl who told him she was pregnant for him, and come to find out she was not pregnant for him at all. She was pregnant for some other little boy. But either way, she knew she did him wrong. So she showed up to do him a favor and tell him how Detective Gabriel is trying to steal Billy's job while he's there at the hospital being there for Spencer. She tells him he called an emergency meeting with the Booster Club and the principal and, all of the parents that are involved in PTA. Everybody called this emergency meeting, and he's doing that because Billy's going to be at the hospital with Spencer, and he knows that Billy is not going to leave one of his players, whether it's his player now or before. He's not going to leave him at that hospital without everything being, clear about what's going on with him. So it's kind of low down on Detective Gabriel, for real. Not kind of, it is. It's very much low down, shisty, and snake-like of him to go about trying to steal Billy's job in this way. And it's just sad. Like, why does it have to be like this? You are probably one of the only black people in the Boosters Club. Like, I've never seen any other members of the Boosters Club, but I can just about guess that you being another black man and part of this school of power should have been y'all working together and not you trying to work against him because you have some underlying competition going because you feel like it can only be one of y'all at a time that's in cahoots with the upper echelon of Beverly Hills High. Child, jump off a bridge. Like, oh Lord, people in their small ponds. Darnell rolls up on Tyrone now that he didn't figured out that Tyrone was there talking to him, acting all cool while he was sending some homeboys to go and shoot up Spencer and Olivia. So he rolls up on him like he's trying to do something to Tyrone, and Tyrone is like, if you knew who I was, you'd be running right now. And a lot of people that were in the cafe start to run out. But this detective comes in and he wants to know where Tyrone was the night that Spencer got shot. And come to find out, the reason why Tyrone sat down and talked to Darnell is so he can use Darnell as a alibi. Because while the shooting was happening, he was sitting there talking to Darnell. I told y'all I didn't feel right about that. I thought he was going to do something to Darnell. Come to find out, it was so he can use somebody in Spencer's life as a way to get off on possibly, almost killing a dude. So it's just terrible. And this is when we figure out that Tyrone is playing chess, not checkers. So Spencer talks to Grace about the surgery. And of course, it's his mother. She would rather him give up football and not go through this surgery that could have him paralyzed for the rest of his life. Like, he can do something else. He's smart. He can have a whole different life. It doesn't have to be football. But Spencer's not ready to give up. He's not ready to give up on that part of his life. And he says how his dad used to tell him that he needed to tackle his problems head on and finish strong. And he tells her that he will. He will get out of this surgery whole and in one piece. He promised his mama that. And y'all know whenever Spencer promises mama something, it's gonna happen, Jesus. So y'all, Preach goes to see Coop. Okay, Coop at her house, putting her Coop necklace in a box, getting ready to go out there and kill Tyrone. But Preach comes in and says, look, bruh, killing somebody changes a person. And it changed me, and I don't want it to change you, Coop. Let me handle it. I got a personal situation with Tyrone, too. We can keep the hood safe if I handle it. I'm like, oh, Preach. I don't want you to handle this either. I want somebody that we don't care about that's going to come in like a thief in the night, sink his teeth in a bite. You're thinking life. I'm thinking more like, what's up tonight? Come on, ma. You know I got a wife, but ain't no in tie-dye going to jeopardize my life. I'm sorry, y'all. I went into DMX, but I was really trying to say is that you wanted somebody to come in like a thief in the night and jig Tyrone, and then we got to figure out who done it. That's what I want. So Darnell and the homeboy from Crenshaw, y'all know the one who always getting into it with Spencer. I done forgot his name already. We ain't seen him in a minute. But you know, the one who was always having some little slick stuff to say. I think he and Spencer played the same position on the team or whatever. He was the one that stopped Darnell from putting his hands on Tyrone and making that situation worse because he knew that he didn't know who Tyrone was, okay? But he goes to the hospital with Darnell and he thanks him for coming with them. And he was like, yeah, man, that little petty schoolhouse stuff ain't nothing. Spencer is family. I was like... Jordan comes in and tells Billy what Simone told him about Detective Gabriel trying to steal on his job while he's down here at the hospital looking after Spence. And Billy said, well, he can do what he got to do. I'm not leaving Spencer, okay? If that means I'm not the coach anymore, I guess I'm not the coach. But I'm not leaving Spencer. That's just not happening. I was like, me the whole episode, basically. So Jordan said, I got to do something. I got to protect my dad, man. Olivia is still kind of in a daze after everything that's happened. And she's sitting down and her mom is kind of, you know, rubbing her hands through her hair. And she sees that Olivia still has blood behind her ears. And she suggests that when Spencer goes in for surgery that they take Olivia home so that she can take a shower, but she doesn't want to leave. She wants to make sure that everything's going to be okay with him. And then here come Asher running in. Okay, Asher then came in. Of course, he got to be there for Spencer. They family, ultimately. I know they had their little beef last episode, but that's because our homeboy Asher is going through something. We just ain't got to him yet, but he's just going through something, all right? Olivia gets up and runs to him and hugs him, and he's trying to apologize for the way he acted. And she was like, we can deal with that another time. I'm just glad that you're here now. And I was like, y'all cute. But I still want Olivia and Spencer to be together. I've been wanting that this whole time, but I didn't want to say nothing because we thought they were siblings for so long. Grace comes in and tells everybody that this is not a funeral, okay, because there's so many people in this hospital at this point waiting to find out what's going on with Spencer. It's so much love. It's awesome. But she says that her son promised her that he was going to come through this surgery whole. So you know what? While the nurse is wheeling Spencer into surgery, he thanks her for fighting so hard for him. And she says, if we don't, who will? I said, y'all better give us the black folks message. It's Black History Month. Y'all better give this to us. This was a very nice way to do that without, you know, here's the after school special on Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. Like, they didn't give us that. They gave us black people working in the hospital being there to make sure that somebody black coming in that really deserved to live but was looked at less than because he was black and in an area where there are gangs, as if he couldn't have just got shot by just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, because that never happens. It happens all the time, okay? All the time. But either way, them showing having a black nurse and a black neurosurgeon there, they were a line of defense for this boy who could have possibly been killed due to negligence, and it would never have been proved. And it would never have been prosecuted. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to prosecute hospitals, especially when you don't have the funds to go after their lawyers and all of that. So I was just looking at this situation like they were like really trying to make a point without making the point. And I appreciated that. So the nurse rolls him through everybody that was out there waiting for him. They standing in the hallway as he goes down the hall for surgery, and they're all, you know, telling him how terrible he looks, but that he's going to be okay and that they're there for him. And it was just a beautiful moment, y'all. And it really, really was a beautiful moment. And he goes in surgery. Olivia goes home to wash his blood off her body, y'all. That was so sad to me. And then Preach rolls up on Tyrone at a park. He said, let's take a walk. Tyrone said, we ain't going nowhere, and I know you ain't gonna shoot me in this park. Then the police pull up. Tyrone called the police and told them that Preach was going to be there. So Preach had to pull his gun out and throw it on the ground. He said, they ain't gonna hold me down long over no gun charge. He was like, yeah, but they'll do it over the assault. Remember last episode, Preach beat up that promoter, and I told y'all that was Tyrone's doing. So now they gonna get Preach on a third strike. I said, oh, damn, not a third strike. Y'all still doing that? Y'all need to get rid of that shit. That's not cool. You mean to tell me this man could possibly go to jail for the rest of his life because he beat up somebody? Word. That's not equivalent. That's not equivalent at all. Nobody died. But this was Tyrone's plan the entire time. To get Preach arrested, I guess. Like, that's low down. I don't know how anybody could ever be a soldier for Tyrone after that. That was crazy. Billy and Grace talk. And she just really doesn't understand how after all she did to protect Spencer from the street shit, how he could still end up getting shot by somebody over jealousy. Like, it really, really, just has her mad in the moment. And Billy takes her outside to the balcony where they can see all these kids from the school outside holding up signs and candles for Spencer. And it shows her that it's not all bad. They got some real love out there for him too. So the doctor comes out. And they go and talk to Dylan and Darnell, and they basically say that he got out of surgery, and right now he's sleeping and medicated, but everything looks good. But when it comes to him feeling his arm, they're not sure yet. He's going to have to wake up, and they're going to have to see. Jordan and JJ try to talk to the principal down at the school right before this 5 p.m. Boosters Club PTA meeting that they're about to have. And they're trying to talk to the principal and tell him that Detective Gabriel is not the person that they want at the head of their team. He is not reflecting their values by feeling like this is a good time to try and get in on Billy's job while he's trying to be there for Spencer. Like, it's just not right. It's not what they feel like Beverly Hills is about. Okay? And the principal ain't really trying to hear him. And then Detective Gabriel comes out and says that both Jordan and Billy need to be at home taking care of their family and their house since they can't seem to be there for the team the way they need to be. Okay? This was some real shady shit going on right here. But then Simone and got the rest of the football team to let them know, we don't want him. We don't want Detective Gabriel or whoever he bringing in. We want Billy. We want Coach Billy. We here. We standing for Coach Billy. Okay? Like, they was real strong about that. Like, they was ready to fight for Billy. Coop finds out about Preach getting popped because Tyrone sends her a video saying that she's next. I said, oh yeah, she next, huh? Okay. So now Coop know that Preach didn't do the job. So now it's up to her and the OG. Spencer is having some sensation in his arm, but they still trying to see if he'll be able to grip. And for a minute he couldn't do it, and he completely starts to panic. Oh my God, it's not working. Like, I need to try it again. I need to try it again. And Billy and his mom tell him, just calm down. You just woke up. It's okay. It'll happen. Just give it a moment. He was like, okay, but I want to try again. So he tries again to squeeze the doctor's hand, and he finally does, which is an excellent sign that he'll be getting the feeling back in his hand and in his arm. Thank you, Jesus, to the black neurosurgeon lady who not only knew what she was doing, but knew who he was. So Billy and the principal meet up with Detective Gabriel and tell him they have all unanimously voted to ask him to step down from the Boosters Club since he showed such huge disregard for one of their own. And when the principal walks out the office after he tells him this is not up for negotiation, that's it, that's all. He walks out, and Detective Gabriel tells Billy, oh, see, you think you've won, but you'll never be one of them. You'll never be, one of the upper echelon. And Billy is like, man, you got me fucked up. I know who I'm for, and it's my team. So y'all, Tyrone escaped. I really thought that Coop was going to pop up on him in the back of his car and blow his brains out, but that's not what happened. Tyrone got away. And Spence does a piece about all the love he's received from everybody and how it ain't just about fear. It ain't just about hate. It's about this love out there that people really have for him and how it helped him make it through. It was just very inspirational, but he's doing it for Olivia's podcast. And after he's done recording, she gets in the bed with him and thanks him for saving her life. And he said, anytime. I said, oh, Take me out, Lord. Take me out. Daniel Ezra. I'm just saying. Okay, look, I was living for that moment. Yeah, I really want Olivia and Spencer to happen, even though I know it won't. But I want it to. But anyway, y'all, that was All American. I can't wait till next episode because he's going to go ham on the football field. And we're going to get into Asher and these testosterone shots he's taking. Okay? So, yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one.